Right, we're recording.
Thank you. Welcome, colleagues, to the meeting of the Executive Cabinet Member Leaders Portfolio, Tuesday, 28th of July. First item on the agenda is monitoring of Exec Cabinet Member decisions. Any questions, queries on the plan? No, thank you. Item 2 on the agenda, local authority grant 2026-27 allocation and deployment. Helen, are you introducing this report or?
I am indeed.
Yeah.
I am indeed. So the report seeks approval for the allocation and deployment of Bolton's £1.89 million local authority grant for 26-27 from the Greater Manchester Combined Authority. It's supporting the continuation and development of employment work and skills activity across the borough. The funding combines 3 previous programmes, Workwell, Trailblazer and the NEET support, into a single grant arrangement, providing greater local flexibility to design and deliver integrated support for residents facing barriers to employment. The proposals build on the successful delivery and learning from 25-26 Trailblazer programme and will support over 1,300 residents through a range of interventions focused on economic activity, health-related employment barriers, and young people not in education, employment and training. I'm going to hand over to Joe Draper from our Employment Hub, and I've also got Sahida on the call as well to support with questions. Joe will just go through some of the detail of the report and then we'll open for questions. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thanks, Helen. Joe?
Hi, yeah, so as Helen mentioned, we're seeking to kind of receive 1.89 million of the local authority grant, which is Bolton's allocation, out of I think it's about 22 million of Greater Manchester. Last year we kind of delivered what we called test and learn pilot kind of trailblazer projects of these, and it was all done on 3 separate kind of funding allocation streams. We found that, you know, the what we delivered was really well received within the kind of local authority and the residents to them. And obviously we don't want to kind of lose that momentum that we've had. So we'd like to kind of obtain approval to kind of continue that. This year the grant is kind of done in one kind of pot rather than the 3 separate ones, which gives us greater flexibility as well to be able to respond to client needs, really resident needs. Like Helen said, it was really successful last year. It's already kind of building momentum for this year. We've got 3 kind of elements within it. So we've got the Trailblazer, which is supporting economically inactivity residents. This will focus on roughly about 1,200 residents who are economically inactive in the borough, and supporting them to kind of get back into work. And it's not just about kind of applications and, you know, helping with kind of interview techniques. Obviously, when people, they come with a lot of different barriers and stuff. So part of our projects is that we're linking all our wider services with the VCSE sector as well, and other different partner organisations to ensure that we've kind of removed or addressed the barriers that those people face before we can kind of support them in sustained employment. The other 2 elements of the programme is the Workwell element, which is kind of generally focuses on people who are in work, who may be struggling while they're in work, either through mental health issues or physical health issues. There's about 6,000 fit notes produced, long-term fit notes are produced every single month in Bolton. About 30% of them, 36% is all to do with mental health, anxiety and depression and things. About 18 is musculoskeletal. So this was kind of done on a pilot last year. That was Manchester was one of the vanguards, and I'm really happy to say that we actually supported the most people in the country through our vanguard. It's been really well received, and we've supported quite a lot of participants, and again, like it's going from strength to strength. So we kind of do quite innovative kind of measures that support people. So one of the things that we found is menopause is a huge kind of issue for ladies in Bolton, and I think it's something about 30% of the fit notes kind of also related to menopause issues, and unfortunately 1 in 10 of those women will actually quit work due to kind of not being able to cope. So we've kind of commissioned Dr. Beverly Matter, who's come and give us some great kind of support for our residents. And I'm happy to say that, you know, we've successfully kind of supported quite a lot of ladies, really. Our fourth cohort is also addressing neurodivergent in our communities as well. So although there's quite a lot of kind of employment support that is available, generally when you get a mandatory program, it doesn't always fit all people. So that's been really, really helpful to kind of support. And we've commissioned Bolton Adult Autism Service to support with those. And we've had some great results there. And then the third element is the NEAT program. As we know, youth unemployment has massively risen. So the continuation of the support that Connections team delivers in Bolton has been absolutely brilliant. And they've kind of last year did Next Generation Bolton, which did a lot with regards to the construction industry and various different other skills, and supported quite a lot of our youngsters really to kind of get back into work and not be neat. So we would like to continue with regards to delivering this great work in Bolton and kind of, you know, explore various different options. So a lot of it has been allocated, the money from what we've kind of we would like to deliver, and then we've left about £46,000 of contingency funds really, so that we can kind of do some test and learn projects as and when issues may arise with regards to supporting specific cohorts or you know, sectors and things. Has anyone got any questions?
Thank you. I'll bring people in for questions. Want Saida? Did you want to bring Saida in, Joanne, or
so?
No?
So he is going to be here to answer the questions that anybody may ask, because
Right,
she's
okay,
got more
yeah.
of the detail in the background,
Right.
because she's kind of like compliance and supply manager.
Absolutely get that. That's fine. Councillor Ali?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the NEAT figures. Are they reducing in Bolton? Are they staying normal, or are they going up?
To answer your question, Councillor Hanif, they are going up in Bolton, and hence we have got this wide provision offered in the community, which is exploring different avenues of supporting neat young people.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Do you have a follow-up, Hanif?
Yes, please.
Yeah, go on.
So I'm just trying to ascertain. So obviously we've got a service that we're going to continue in the same manner because, as you said, Joanne, it's making some impact. I was just wondering whether, with that extra 46,000 to test and stuff, whether you're going to try out some new methodologies. For example, I've seen in other towns where they've got cultural employment hubs set up in the heart of these deprived communities, which are run in partnership with communities, so that local people can access employment support in the heart of their communities.
We're already commissioning something very similar. So as part of our skills construction offer, we've got offer out in the community. So we're looking at ecosystems connecting with support with what is already existent in the community, and one of the offer is looking at spaces and green areas in the community that we can build on and create oasis gardens for communities, and we'd like the communities to be involved in that and meet young people. So we've got generations involved in building a garden, a sort of a bedding where they can be growing their own organic food, and that's one of our skills construction offer. We've also got a DES team offer that's going out digital support in the community, and it's not just looking at digital support, it's looking at assessing people where they are and signposting them to different offers in the community that are already in existence.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And I'd like to say I love the employment support vans that you've got that go around to the different places in the community. And I just felt that we could maybe build on that, and instead of the vans, which should operate and continue, I think those local cultural community employment hubs. So I get what you're saying about the skills and the community gardens. Obviously, I love community gardens, Green Party, but I do feel that we could have employment support services in a better way in the hearts of these communities. I'm going to end on that.
I think that's something we could probably pick up offline, kind of with Joe and the team and Clive. I think there is the opportunity through the unallocated funding, and I think sort of that was the certainly the point was being raised. So I think if we could pick that up and come back, kind of following a discussion with internal colleagues, because I think that outreach point is is a really valid point and something that we perhaps need to explore further and can come back and feedback around the additional funding.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah, absolutely. Councillor Wanderley.
Thank you, Chair. Thanks, Joanne. I love all the work that you're doing, the team is doing with this, because I'm a great believer in getting out there in the community, and it's very similar to what we talked about at council meetings about ensuring that local businesses can compete for jobs or work. It's very similar work that we're trying to show that local people can compete for local work and building their capacity and confidence, because a lot of it is confidence, isn't it? Going back into work, never been in work. The work you're doing with the young people is brilliant. So I'm a great supporter of all this. It's just one thing I picked up on about the economic inactivity trailblazer. I think the budget's the same for last year as it is for this year. I think it's going to be similar. It said that you'd engage with 646, and you can show the outcomes of how you've supported people. But it said that out of the 646, 70 people got into employment, and that's about 10%.
Yeah.
Do you think we could? Is this something that you're looking at to say why this is? I mean, it's still brilliant. Anybody who gets a job, it means their family's affected. The whole life is affected in a better way. I'm just wondering whether have you found what the blockages are, or why it seems to be low when it isn't really.
Yeah,
Understand what I mean?
Yeah, those figures there are obviously as an as-is kind of picture at the moment. So even though the kind of year one has now completed, year one, even though was kind of commissioned to start in the April, it didn't actually start around about the October, November. Is that correct, Sahida?
Yeah, that's correct.
So really, that piece of work and those jobs was kind of secured in those 4 months. So we're still kind of collecting data with regards to those people that were supported in that first year. And obviously, people who are economically active, sometimes it does take that a little bit longer. And we've not just dropped them; we're still working with them. So hopefully that will increase. I mean, recently we've just done the McDonald's recruitment for the new site at Logistics North, and I'm really pleased to say that out of the 71 positions that we helped kind of recruit for them for that new, but it was all Bolton residents. So obviously that 71 will kind of be included to the original 70 when this report was wrote. But yeah, it's an ongoing kind of data.
Yeah, and can I also add? Sorry, can I also add that?
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Can I also add that the employment outcomes are really important to us, but many of our residents through this programme actually face significant barriers, including long-term health conditions, disabilities, caring responsibilities and social exclusion. And those are the kind of category of groups of people that we're trying to engage with. So success, therefore, includes progression on a pathway to employment, confidence building and wellbeing improvement. Sometimes that support takes a bit longer and it's not just a quick turnaround.
Thanks, Sahida. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, no, thank you, Councillor Wanderley. Councillor Muslim.
Hello, thank you. I was just wondering, obviously all of our boroughs of GM will receive funding, but a lot of our sites are on the, I suppose, where we've got particular challenges with employment, or residents that live where they're unemployed, are on boundaries of the borough. So I'm thinking Brakemet side, West Horton side. So we're going on to Bury, going on to to Wigan or wherever. And I was wondering, do we ever do anything where we sort of think, actually, do we talk to those neighbouring boroughs and say, actually, you know what, we could combine some of the funds that we've got and do something in those areas where, you know, actually people would, you know, the borders are artificial, aren't they? But for people, it might just be like, you know, a few streets over. And is there any opportunity for us to do anything where we can be a bit more savvy with how we spend the money by working together with neighbouring boroughs, where we've got areas that have got significant unemployment, but are on the edge of the town or towns?
Thanks, Councillor Muslim. John?
Yeah, so we do work really, really closely with our fellow people like us in the other kind of local authorities. So yeah, we have regular kind of call them local leads meetings and working groups to ensure that we share best practice. We kind of, if we are doing large scale recruitments, that we will ensure that basically all of GM residents have got access to those as well, and try best to kind of work together. And we do a lot of best practice sharing. So that work is already there. I'm not saying that it couldn't be improved. I think it could, and I think we're looking at doing something a little bit more specific with Salford this year. They've got some great kind of delivery methods that they use, so we'll be looking to learn from them as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Joanne. There are no other hands, so I am going to approve this report as set out in section 3.2 of the paper. Thank you very much, everybody. So we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is Pride in Place Impact Funding Project Amendment. Helen, are you introducing this again?
Yes, I am. So I'll introduce it and then I'll hand over to Becky, who's been leading on the project. Thank you, Councillor Zaman.
Fire away.
So the Pride in Place Impact Fund provides Bolton with 1.5 million of capital funding to support projects that strengthen community pride, improve local places and create positive, lasting benefits for residents across the borough. The programme was originally approved by ECM in February 2026, and this included a range of projects focused on parks, public spaces, cultural assets and community infrastructure. As part of the detailed design and development stage, further cost analysis and engagement, the project appraisals have now been completed and the work has identified opportunities to refine the approved programme to maximise the impact and make best use of the available funding. This report seeks approval to amend the current programme by replacing one of the projects that Becky will talk to and to allocate the contingency funding which was highlighted within the original approval. So I'll hand over to Becky to just go through the detail of those changes and the recommendation of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank you, everyone. Hi. So the Get Bolton Moving projects was put forward in February with the idea to create a rambling walk for families that would meet all our culture and heritage sites of interest. When we did the cost analysis for this and had a look, it would actually be over 9 hours long and therefore wouldn't be suitable for families or attract any people who aren't currently active, which was what the original idea was meant to be around. We heard of a project that was being worked up called Food Cubes, and this is the proposal to input a food and beverage offer in a park, and the park that's been identified to do this is Longside Park. There's currently a unused structure at the moment that's dilapidated and unsafe and attracts some antisocial behaviour. The proposal is to demolish that and in its place put this food and beverage offer. What we've cost as part of the cost analysis as well, we should hopefully have enough to remove a structure, the unsafe structure that's in, Haslam Park. That's also unstable and unsafe at the moment. We wouldn't have enough to put in a food and beverage offer at Haslam Park, but it would create the space to do so if we manage to find other funding.
Thank you. Thanks, Becky. Any questions, comments from colleagues? Councillor Muslim?
Thank you, Leader. I would just say that I think it's quite good that because the Friends Alongside Park do a lot of work in that area. And I know Councillor James Muller and Councillor Les Webb been working with Friends Alongside Park really to improve particularly that section of Longside Park. So we know there's a community need and want for that. And I think that community support there will really make it a success. So I think it's probably a good idea to reallocate the funding so this project can take place.
Thank you. I agree. Absolutely. There are no hands. So I'm happy to approve the amendment as set out in the paper. Thank you. And that concludes the business of the meeting. And thank you very much, colleagues, for your time and have a very nice evening.
Can I ask a question? So,
and go on.
So would decisions made under delegated powers be under the first item of the agenda?
Sorry, I don't understand what you mean by that. Sorry. Vicky will come in. Vicky?
Just to clarify, the decisions that are on the monitoring of executive cabinet member decisions are those decisions that the exec member has taken at previous meetings, and it's there to give members an update on how the decision has been progressed.
Thank you, Vicky. That clarifies my question. Thank you, Councillor Zaman.
John, did you need to come in, John?
Just very briefly, Chair, just to say that the reason that we brought this report back in was principally because we did secure delegations at the first pass. Yeah. However, those delegations related to delays in the project and authority through the Director of Place in consultation with the Executive Cabinet to make amendments. I think because this project actually, or the amendments in this case, don't just relate to timeline, they actually relate to swapping out a project that we previously reported. We felt it was important to bring the paper back to Executive Cabinet members. So it's a specific project amendment that we are in essence seeking authority for this evening, as articulated by Becky. But just a point of clarification. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you very much, everybody. So I hope to see you soon in the planning briefing if you're there. So thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone.